Hello, I'm Brian Eslick from How to Automotive. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Gen 3 high torque impact. So this impact tool came out about a year ago. Milwaukee flew me out to their facilities to check out all their new tools, and this is one of the features. So for the last 8-9 months, I've been using it every day in the shop. So I thought I would make this video, take you out to the shop and show you this tool in use. So we're going to check that out now. So come with me. So the Generation 2 came out in 2017, and it has gone through a complete redesign. It has a new motor, new electronics, and a new anvil. Here's one of the project managers from Milwaukee who's going to explain a little bit about that.
Hey everyone, I'm going to introduce you guys to our new Gen 3 M18 FUEL half-inch high torque impact. If we take a look at our Gen 3 tool, you'll see a couple different things that we did from a design aspect that allow us to deliver on one of the most powerful tools in the industry, the most compact and the fastest tool, along with being one of the most durable. For starters, you'll see here that we have a more power dense motor. We're actually able to pack over 20% more copper into this motor, allowing us to maximize power and performance. Not only because of its more power dense, that stack length was decreased, which allowed us to have length savings as well in the tool. You'll also see we took the electronics and put them in the handle. So these grip electronics that are potted, this new electronics package is more thermally robust, which allows us to maximize, power and performance of the tool as well in combination of that motor, and then as well as for moving the electronics from the base of the tool into the grip, it allows us to add an incremental length savings as well. Awesome. You also see we added a battery isolator here. This isolation system secures battery connection and controls vibration transmitted to the pack. The last thing, one of the other key features here, as we packed more performance and power into this tool, we actually have a proprietary anvil material that in manufacturing process that ensures that this tool, that we're not going to shear anvils, whether it be 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 months, a year into the life of the tool. Whereas some of our competitors are not addressing that anvil material change, accompanied with the power and performance increase.
Awesome. What's the power difference between last year's model and today's model?
Yeah, so our Gen 3 is going to be 1,200 foot-pounds of fastening and 1,600 foot-pounds of nut busting torque when paired with our forge pack. If you pair it with our XC50, it'll be 1,100 fastening and 1,500 nut busting, whereas our previous generation was 1,000 fastening and 1,400 foot-pounds nut busting.
Nice. Very cool.
Now you're going to see the Gen 3 in action at the shop, how I use it every day. This axle nut here was held on with an Allen socket, and that takes quite a bit of torque to get that free. In this next clip, I'm using it to rebuild a front end suspension on an old Chevrolet. So not only does it have power, but it has finesse, so you can use it on the smaller fasteners and ease the power on with the variable trigger or some of the settings that the tool has. So I work at a heavy truck and equipment diesel shop, and we use it on a lot of big trucks, semi trucks, that type of stuff. And when you're working on the big trucks, you definitely need a high torque impact. Here I'm removing the yoke so I can do a pinion seal. High torque with the forged battery. So the bolts on this leaf springs are torqued down between 500 and 600 foot-pounds. I'm using the high torque here to break it away. It has 1,600 foot-pounds of breakaway torque, and it made quick and easy work of these U-bolts. Now the bolts are going back on. We swapped out the spring and I'm tightening them back up. So they're torqued down between 500 and 600 foot-pounds. So this is going to help me get it in the ballpark so I'm not working that hard with the torque wrench. Here's more footage of the high torque in action, removing the leaf spring here. I had to use one hand to film so I couldn't hold the wrench. On the inner bolt, I had to use a wobbly socket, and when you use a wobbly socket, that robs a lot of torque, and it still had enough torque to break these free and get them off. Now the Gen 3 high torque is in action, taking off some airbags off the front of a motorhome. The cross member front suspension is bolted to the airbag, so I had to use the impact to get it off. So I'm also laying on my side, reaching in, and the tool is light enough where I can lift it up and hit it and still control the tool. On the same motorhome, I used it to remove brake caliper bolts. These are pretty large bolts, and they had a Loctite on them, so it took a little bit of effort to get these off. On your average car, they would only have 2 bolts holding the caliper on. This had 6 bolts. On this truck, the inner axle seal was leaking. I had to remove the axle shaft to get access to the seal, and this made quick and easy work of that. Got the high torque, the new high torque with the new forged battery, and I got about 2.5, maybe 3 foot long extension here on a wobbly socket to loosen up a motor mount on this job you can see I'm doing here. So when you add all those extensions and wobble sockets, it robs a lot of torque, so you need something with some serious power, so that's why we're using the high torque here. High torque, we're going to start taking cab bolts off. Wasn't even a challenge. So Milwaukee puts this cool feature on their tools. If you put it on mode 4 here, what it's going to do is it's going to break that bolt, that fastener away at full power, and as soon as it senses it that it broke free, the tool will automatically slow down, so you don't spin like wobble sockets or anything like that off. So I want Vanessa to try it out. So go ahead and hit it. So when it comes off, when you hit the trigger, just keep holding it, and once it senses that letting it break free, it should slow down by itself. Pretty cool. Did you see it slow down? It's awesome for like wheels and tires. That way it doesn't, get all crazy and run into your rim surface or anything. So if you would like to add the high torque to your collection of tools, I will leave links for it down in the description of the video. I'm Brian Eslick from How to Automotive. I'd like to thank you guys for watching and encourage you to subscribe.